Guess who's back? Back again. Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to stop this morning for a second and talk to you a little bit about, uh, like I said, Jeremy, Todd, Meg, my wife, have both recommended that I, maybe speak a little bit more about me growing up. A little bit about how I arrived at my perspective, and both of them are familiar with the ebook that I've written, and you can get your copy if you haven't done it yet over at fatherhoodfortherestofus.com. Sign up there, and you'll be able to get yourself a copy of our origin story, and you'll be able to see where we've come from, I've come from, where I'm going, and where I've been, and a little bit about the perspectives that I'm bringing here with us today. And to that end, it's funny too. I don't talk to my mom too much, but she is also tuning into this podcast, and she gives me some feedback. So it's always nice to hear from her, and I'm kind of excited. Hey, mom, that she's tuning in. So in the book, I talk a little bit about being being raised by a hippie mom, I say that because I always felt like I had a different perspective. Everybody else's parents that I met were just real kind of cutting, I guess for lack of better terminology, seemed to me to be pretty cut and dry. Work, work, work. This was the way you did it. Life was only one way, and it just seemed like a really kind of a sad, lackluster approach. Or there's got to be more than one way for something to happen, right? To me, that's how it seems, anyways, and that's how I was raised, and that's how I viewed how I was raised. Anyway, maybe I was raised differently, but maybe our how we perceive things is sometimes different than maybe what was intended. So, regardless of that, so I'm bringing all that up, and when I say hippie, and the other thing too is like if we look back in the context and how that even came up, hippie was surrounded by uh, they were hip to certain knowledge, and therefore go turn into hippie, just like, and that's just kind of how it worked out. But what is that certain knowledge that they were surrounding or talking about and really excited about that made them hip to certain situations? And what is entertaining to me, and I talked about this a little bit before, is that we're seeing this renewal of a cycle that these guys, that generation had been a big part of, and there's two parts of it that are kind of interesting. But so first of all, that's baby boomers, right? They were the largest of they were like a wave coming out over our country, and we're seeing similar to that. The millennials are actually now kind of like the big wave group coming out right now. So my guess is that, hey, it's just their voices were the loudest ones and being heard the most, and the voices that they were, what they were saying and what they were talking about a lot then is what we're talking a lot about now. We're hearing a ton about mindfulness and just what kind of impact that has on our lives. And I think over the years, many people poo-pooed it or felt uncomfortable doing it. But now, with the internet and being able to kind of spread all that, and you don't get judged, I don't think, as much when you are putting something on the internet, right? Or it may be even easier to say something online or say, yeah, I agree with that. You can do it in closed groups where at least it's similar to cliques, right? Where it's just many people are saying the same things and sharing the same thoughts, and that's great. So we have that opportunity to do now, where we can let those groups grow, and that's where we talk. Like I said, they talk a lot about mindfulness, and meditation, positive energy, and good vibrations. And we're seeing a lot more of that today, uh, being spread out. And again, this was being talked about a lot by again, the hippies, the people that were hip to these certain situations or feelings, mindsets, ways of being. Um, so I was raised with all these concepts that seem to be gathering momentum again. And so it's for me just it's kind of it's almost liberating. I'm like, wow, it's awesome that I get to I get the opportunity to participate in something that I'm super familiar with because of how I was raised. So I mean, I'm really grateful for that opportunity. I mean, you grow up when I went, probably wasn't as grateful hearing about it when I was growing up, um, and but I'm grateful that I grew up that way because I've got all this information as it relates to again, mindfulness, meditation, and the other one, which is bogging me down right now, is like sugar, right? And healthy eating. And I just remember really not having too much sugar in the house, or being kind of steered away from sugary cereals, a lot of meat, and that type of thing. And I remember just that we just didn't have a lot of it around. And it's funny now to me that here I am, and you should see me. I'm like going through the house, and I'm like, sugar's bad, 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 sugar bad. And then the thing that's tough too is that, like, man, sugar isn't everything. It's so pervasive. And I stumbled across an article, and it just kind of flashed out at me, saying sugar is as bad as alcohol, or has similar impacts. And I'm just talking about tabletop sugar, as bad of impacts on your liver as alcohol. I'm like, come on, man! I'm trying to give my liver a break first of all right now, and trying to grab healthy snacks here and there, and everything. It's got some sugar in it, so just trying to get away from that. But again, I was raised that way, and so it's not too difficult for me to grab hold of the concept and say, yeah, sugar's bad for you. I mean, I've known that for years and forever, but as it becomes more and more pervasive, like it's really easy for me to grab hold and latch on to, because that was what I was taught. It was real easy. I mean, this isn't news. It really isn't news, right? I mean, I think a lot of people already know how bad sugar is for you in your life. And this is something now that here I am, like I'm chasing my kids, and I'm like, no sugar, no sugar, like, oh, no, 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 no. But it's because I care, and I want it out of our house, because why do we your body's a temple, right? Why you run around and deface your own temple knowingly, willingly. This is where we reside, especially now as I wouldn't say I'm over the hill, but I'm definitely climbing up it, right? And as I make that climb, I want to be as healthy as I can. I want to torture my body with, like, exercise and feeling good and getting out there and doing things, chasing the kids around and participating in life, not def- just destroying it willingly with alcohol, with sugar, with, I don't know. I'm sure some other you know. I've even cut down on the bacon, and that hurts. It hurts cutting down on the bacon. And you can read certain reports that, and look, it's all everybody's like, it's in moderation. Yeah, sure, it's in moderation, but like, just because, like if I scrape my knee, that's in moderation too, right? Like if I go and I just slide on, well, I'm just gonna go. Hey, why don't I just go do this? I'm just gonna go run down the sidewalk and bare knee, just scrape my knees, but just once every once in a while, because I'm gonna regenerate, and that's cool, right? So I know that's kind of a weird analogy, but like knowingly and willingly, willingly put yourself into some type of situation that's painful and bad for you, just because you have the ability to regenerate. That doesn't make too much sense to me. So I'm trying to cut out the sugars. I'm trying to cut out some of these things. And again, this is just life lessons I already knew and was raised that way. And there's a bunch of other things that I could share with you that I was kind of raised up in that way, and I'm already familiar with. Again, this a lot of this you can find in the book. If you head over to if you head over to Fatherhood for the Rest of Us.com, you can sign up for that. And if you don't feel like doing that, and just send me an email, Brandon at fatherhoodfortherestofus.com, and I'll hook you up with the book somehow. We'll get together, we'll talk, we'll chat, send you over the book. But I just wanted to relay some of that information with everybody, get that out to you about kind of the things that are running through my mind as it relates. Like I said, and that's it, guys. Cut out the sugar. I'm not telling you to cut out the sugars. I'm just cutting it out, and eat healthy and treat your body right so that you can abuse it in a way that maybe is a little more fun or vigorous. I don't know, man. That's what I'm thinking. Getting ready to do a duathlon here in a couple weeks, and I just want to feel great, man. And I'm feeling great. It's pretty awesome. You can feel great too. Hey guys, hit me up at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Brandon G. Handley. Have a great day, great week, and we'll chat later.